Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a big week packed with exciting stuff, lots of first issues and part ones, lots of cool things to talk about. Going to start with the DC guys today. Batman. It's always one of the biggest books in comics. This is the latest issue of the main title. This one and Nightwing are your Monster Men books of the week, part 4 and part 5. Got the first 3 parts still in stock if you get here fast. Like I say, Batman's always the biggest thing DC's got going on. Superman has also been really huge these days. I'm ordering more and more copies of Superman in action all the time and selling through them. This one's got a dinosaur on the cover. That one's always cool. This is part 1 of the next story arc. Should be leading up to the Super Sun stuff. So if you haven't been following Superman, this is your time to jump in. Everybody knows I'm a big Superman guy. And speaking of the big blue Boy Scout, there he is on the cover of Justice League. Another huge title. Another title I'm ordering more and more of and selling through them. So if you're one of the few holdouts, pick up Justice League because that's awesome too. And this book doesn't need any introduction. Harley Quinn is pretty much one of the other hugest characters in comics and movies these days. This is also part 1 of the next story arc. So again, if you're one of the 3 people not reading Harley Quinn, now's your chance. Cool stuff there. Green Arrow with a cover from the all-time legendary Neil Adams there. Great stuff. And Green Lanterns, another super popular book these days. This one's really exploded out of all this Rebirth stuff. Cool Halloween cover there. Gonna start seeing a lot of Halloween stuff. Aquaman. Been talking a lot about this book. Stoked that they gave him a Rebirth title. Another part 1 that you can jump into this week. Cyborg is only up to number 2, so he's still got Rebirth, got number 1. You can jump in on that one. Justice League's latest superstar. And then we got some number 1s too. Midnighter and Apollo back in their own series, if only for 6 issues. For all you authority folks out there. And Death of Hawkman. Sort of a spoiler title, I guess, there, but there's Hawkman, Adam Strange. Haven't seen Adam Strange in a while, so it's kind of cool to see him back. That's a 6-issue mini as well. And speaking of minis, here's the first issue of a new cool Deadman book. Deadman from Justice League Dark, if you're one of the newer readers, or Deadman from All Kinds of Awesomeness, if you're old school like me. Long-time fan of that character. You can read more about this one in our newsletter this week. And Shade the Changing Girl. First issue of the new Young Animal title, the second book from that line, along with Doom Patrol. I was a fan of the original, the pre-Vertigo one, way back in the day of good old Steve Ditko book. Some of you might know who Steve Ditko is. DC Comics Bombshells, it's your peripheral universe book, I guess you'd say. Guess I forgot Injustice, that's also out this week. He-Man and Thundercats teaming up for a new series. You're probably a fan of either one of these classic franchises. Cool stuff there. Always happy to see He-Man back in comics. That's cool stuff. And then I've been talking a lot about the Hanna-Barbera stuff, like this one, the Flintstones, the reimagining of the ever-classic animated series, or Future Quest, which is a team-up of Space Ghost and Johnny Quest and all kinds of other great Hanna-Barbera properties. If you're old school like me, you love the old Hanna-Barbera stuff, if you're any kind of cartoon fan, you've got a favorite Hanna-Barbera one. Space Ghost is one of my favorites. Everybody's been following this Future Quest, so I'm pretty sure all the early issues are sold out, so I hope you're already in on that one. And then good stuff from the Vertigo guys, of course. Art Ops, cool cover by my man Mike Allred. You'll hear more about him a little later. Clean Room and Suiciders, and Ever After. Your 4 Vertigo books for the week. This one spins out of the super classic Fables stuff. Great week for the DC guys. Huge week for Marvel too. Got to start, of course, with this one. This is Death of X. Number 1, the next big X event book, where they'll be taking on the Inhumans. The battle to end it all, I guess. Cool stuff there. That and Uncanny X-Men are your X books for the week. Some other number 1s from the Marvel guys. Let's talk about Luke Cage, formerly known as Power Man, formerly known as Hero for Hire, one of Marvel's new TV stars. everybody's talking about this guy. And this one's written and drawn by Genndy Tartakovsky, who you might know from Samurai Jack or Dexter's Lab or a million other awesome things. I'm a huge fan of Samurai Jack, so been waiting for this book for a little while. Love me some Luke Cage. New issue of Jessica Jones, back in her own title, from the original gang, Brian Michael Bendis. Good stuff there. Another one of Marvel's new big TV stars. The show was really awesome. If you missed the old series Alias, here's your chance to catch up and get back to Jessica back in comics. Champions #1. Spinning out of what's going on in all new, all different Avengers. Fun stuff there. Invincible Iron Man. A lot of buzz about this book too. I'm pretty sure this is your only Civil War II book this week. Amazing Spider-Man. Always talking about these awesome Alex Ross covers. This is building up to the Clone Conspiracy stuff that I think starts next week. A lot of buzz going on about that too. All New Wolverine starts a new storyline. It's another book I've been liking a lot. Deadpool gets another new series, Back in Black #1. And he's also in the Mercs for Money this week. Can never get enough Deadpool. Doctor Strange starts a new story arc, so if you're getting all excited about the movie coming out, then you can jump in on that one. Spider-Man 2099 and Spidey are your Spider books for the week. Spidey's a cool flashback title, so a little out of continuity if you're a Spider-Man fan or you're just looking to read something a little new and different. Check that out. Fun stuff. Squadron Supreme with my man Submariner back on the cover there. And Scarlet Witch. It's one of my favorite Marvel titles. This one might be flying under your radar, but it's been really, really cool. James Robinson is all-time great, so you should be reading pretty much anything he does, but certainly anything he does with Scarlet Witch, because that's awesome. And The Enchanted Tiki Room. It's your Marvel All Ages book this week. You know I'm a big fan of the Disney stuff. They've been doing all kinds of cool books and live-action movies and things for their rides, so check that out. Not really sure what it's about, but it's the Tiki Room. And of course, it's always a good week for the other guys too. Rise of the Black Flame is your Hellboy, BPRD, Abe Sapien, Lobster Johnson book of the week. I'm always talking up Mike Mignola and his awesomeness. Not too much from the Dark Horse guys, but Image has all kinds of fun things. How about the original 100 Bullets gang getting back together for a book called Moonshine? Always cool stuff from Brian Azzarello. Paper Girls is probably the Image book you're waiting for this week. Unless you're classic like me and dig some Spawn. Had to throw this guy up there this week. Maybe you didn't know that Eric Larson was doing this book with Todd McFarlane. Look at that cool Savage Dragon Spawn crossover cover. Fun stuff. Book's always been a lot of fun. Archie Meets the Ramones this week. It's the anniversary of the Ramones original LP. And of course, I'm always talking up the great job Archie does with everything these days. Archie, Betty and Veronica, Jughead, Afterlife with Archie, Sabrina. Now they're doing a Ramones team up. I mean, how cool is that? Worth it just for the Francavilla cover there. Great stuff. James Bond, Hammerhead #1 is my Dynamite book of the week because I love me some 007. Godzilla is your IDW book of the week because, well, that's Godzilla. Big Trouble in Little China and Escape from New York in the same book. How cool is that? That's my Boom Studios book of the week because those are just two franchises that are awesome. And you slap them together, I mean, come on. How cool is that? And Bloodshot is my Valiant book of the week. Always encouraging you guys to have a Valiant book on your list, and Bloodshot's a good one. Last but definitely not least, I want to talk about this. The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund is a group that supports comic book stores and comic creators with lawyers and legal defense, an unfortunate necessity in our industry. They put together this graphic novel called She Changed Comics. It's boy, what would you call it? An analysis of all of the great women that have worked in comics over the years, making great contributions, but people don't know about them like they know about Stan Lee or Jack Kirby or excuse me, or whoever. So check this book out because there's a lot of great creators in here that you probably don't know about, and anything that supports the CBLDF is good for comics. And of course, it's always a great week for the all ages stuff. The Halloween books are rolling in.
like you see there on the cover of B&V and Friends, and Looney Tunes, my man Foghorn Leghorn there. Great stuff. Marvel's Avengers have an all-ages book with the Hulk coming to get you. Regular show. And Uncle Scrooge. I'm always talking up the great job they're doing with the Disney comics. Great to see them back. As you can see, it's a huge week with lots and lots of great stuff. So make sure you check those shipping lists. Get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to put on your radar that we've got the big annual Black Cat Comics Halloween Spooktacular coming up Friday the 28th through Sunday the 30th. Make sure you get down here for all the cool fun stuff. We got free comics for kids in costume. We got the swap meet going on. Check the events page at blackcatcomics.biz or our newsletter for all the pertinent info. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, check us out on Facebook, check out our cool YouTube channel, or just get on down here to Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.